This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas, and a very happy Easter Sunday to all of you. Hope you're getting to spend some time with your family and remember what the day is all about. A very special day to all of us Christians out there. We certainly know what this day is for, so enjoy it and celebrate a very special day for all of us. And have a great time. So be safe out there and enjoy your families. All right, everybody. Boy, I'll tell you what a wild week in pro wrestling. And it's WrestleMania week, everybody. Wah! Here we go. Oh, my God. It has been weeks, months of preparation for this big showdown in Philadelphia as we get ready for Dwayne, Roman, Cody, Seth, Drew, even the one-wigged Punk, that rare sighting, and so much more. And the party is getting more and more full as this week has gone on. We're going to get to talk all about it as the show goes on. And I am Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. It's the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on KDAWN. Very happy to have you joining us today. And we had a very special guest as Booker T got to join me sitting in for Ken Thompson on SportsX Radio, which airs here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to hear from Booker T on the show. Got some pieces of that interview we're going to be playing for you. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And some big announcements. Of course, I'm going to be the on-stage host at the Vegas Toy Con. And get ready because Mick Foley and Sting are going to be there. That is this WrestleMania weekend, April 5th, 6th, and 7th. And, of course, our friends at FSW are going to be there as well. Brian Cage and many others will be actually wrestling at the World Trade Center over there. So get your tickets now, unless you just happen to win them today. That's right. We're going to be giving those away. A set of 3-day passes, and we're also going to be giving away a special set of 3-day passes plus a VIP photo experience with none other than WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley. How about that? So keep your phones handy. That number is 702-257-5396, 702-257-5396. When we tell you to, give us a call, and you'll have a chance to win your free trip to your free tickets to go to the Vegas Toy Con and check all that out. It's going to be an awesome time. But of course, like I said, we had a chance to sit down with the man himself, Booker T, the 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, and of course, the 5-time world champ, and really a trailblazer in the industry. And we want to get into that right now. So what do you say we hear from the man himself, Booker T, and of course, Brad Gilmore from Reality Wrestling along with him. Of course, we had Brad on the show a couple weeks ago. So let's hear from the man himself, Booker T. I am very excited. Two of my favorite guys in pro wrestling. Well, they're not here, but I've got these two in here. No, I'm kidding. we got, of course, Brad Gilmore, my good buddy from Reality of Wrestling, and the five-time world heavyweight champion, 2-time Hall of Famer, the rings gleaming in the beautiful fluorescent light in the KDAWN studios.
Booker T in the house. Gentlemen, what's going on?
What's going on, Mark? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Good to have you guys here. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Thanks, brother. We appreciate you having us.
Well, it's always good to have you here, man. Welcome back. It's been a little while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, well, you guys should be coming here more often.
Well, I feel like we do. We're here at least, Book 2-3 times a year?
At least 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you here. So what brought you to town, by the way?
Big fight going down. Sebastian Fundora going to be taking on Tim Tszyu in the main event, 154-pound supremacy. For me, boxing has always been a passion for me, and to get out to Vegas, any chance I get to see a good fight, I'm all in. Going down to T-Mobile Arena tomorrow night, so I'm excited, man. I'm really excited.
Who are some of your favorite boxers? I didn't know you were a heavy boxing fan.
No, man, I've always been a huge boxing fan. Of course, Tank Davis right now been really, taking over the boxing game, as well as Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? We was out for a Crawford Spence,
man.
and that was a murderous fight. I'm just love the game of pugilism. That's what I call it.
What's your favorite fight?
Oh man, favorite fight of all times. People might think it would be Holyfield versus Mike Tyson, but I think my favorite fight of all time is Ron Lyle versus George Foreman.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the greatest fights you're ever going to see. I mean, I'm talking about knockdown, drag out. I think George Foreman went down 3 times. I think Ron Lyle went down 4 times. It was an amazing fight. I think George retired after that fight.
I'll tell you my favorite one since we've been coming out here, though. My favorite fight that we saw was the Wilder Fury fight, just because I was so shocked by what I was seeing.
Yeah, that was
Wilder Fury 2.
Yeah.
Where Fury told us the whole week. He said it to everybody. I'm going to walk him down and I'm going to knock him out. Yeah. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. There's no way that's going to happen. And he did it. Yeah. I just remember being shocked.
That is amazing. Yeah. I've been a boxing fan since I was a kid too. And boy, I'll tell you, I still remember like the Hagler Leonard fight, that controversial one. But just watching Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes and, so many great guys. Just, man, boxing is so much fun. Went through some rough times for a while, but, there's still nothing better than watching 2 guys beat the crud out of each other.
Indeed. Muhammad Ali's going into the Hall of Fame this year, WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes,
so I'm excited about that as well.
Yes, he is. And it is going to be an incredible WrestleMania. And of course, Booker T always a massive part of that. But I love one more match. One more match.
Man, I love it, but it's just like any other, sport. It's a young man's game, I'd never say never as far as getting back out there just one more time. But I think if it happened, it'll probably be it's going to be either happen in 2 places: reality of wrestling or Saudi.
For those that don't know, those events that WWE has in Saudi, they pay a lot of money.
just a couple of ducats.
So I'm just saying.
Just a couple.
I'm open.
Brad, let's put Brad Gilmore on the spot here for a second. Brad, if you got to pick the opponent, let's say Booker said, "I'm coming out. I'm doing one more." Pick his opponent.
Better be under 200 pounds.
No.
Wait, so are we talking about on the WWE roster?
And pick his opponent.
Well, if Booker T's going to come back, it's got to be big box office, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
And the thing is, I think that the biggest match you could make if Booker came back is Booker T versus Cody Rhodes. Because of the built-in story there of Dusty, being so instrumental in your career early on. And then when Book came back to WWE after TNA, had the run with Cody Rhodes and really helped shine him up as a single star who could hold a title. And that was for the IC title. And I think to pay it forward full circle after Cody goes out there and becomes his own version of the Tribal Chief and wins the world title.
Give me a shot.
Booker T, Cody Rhodes.
Give me a shot.
World title.
Give me a shot.
Crown jewel.
Give me a shot.
Main event.
I put them over.
I know who I wanted to wrestle.
Who?
I want a main event match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
With Triple H.
Oh, there you go. There you go. He can't work it. Triple H is done. He's done. He can't wrestle.
I know.
You want the rematch?
He can find a way,
He
but I
wants-
want that rematch.
He wants
Just
the
put me
rematch.
over. Just put me over. Just let me pin him.
You
know?
could put him down for good. Put him down for good.
There you go.
No. Of course. I think though I really like the idea. What do you think of that Cody idea? That's actually a pretty good idea.
I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, me personally, if I had to come back and take on someone, like I said, I'm looking for the biggest money draw, and that's going to be The Rock.
Oh, there you go.
Me and The Rock, we had a little.
That's a good rematch.
Yeah, I'm serious. We had a little something back in the day too. So I think, I think for me, it would be The Rock.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, of course, The Rock has made his return
Yes.
in a stunning situation that happened, and a lot of people thought we were going to get Roman and Rock, and the plan changed, and the WWE listened to the fans and put the brakes on that. What did you think of that whole thing as it went down, Book? I mean, because it's not often that someone says no to The Rock, and whammo, here we are with 2 nights with a tag team match with The Rock and Roman and Cody and Seth Rollins on night 1, and then now we're back to Roman and Cody on night 2, and all these other great matches too. But this is kind of an unprecedented situation that happened.
Well, I'm not surprised, to be honest. It happened just the way I thought it was going to happen.
No, come on.
Brad
Yeah.
can back me up on this one. When this thing first went down and The Rock pretty much interjected himself into the match, and then the backlash came, and a lot of people wanted to book the show and say, man, they should do this, they should do this, they should do this. And what I said was, guys, just sit back and watch and let this thing play out, because WWE has been knocking it out of the park for the last, I don't know how many pay-per-views. No matter if the card was made, no matter whether we had, not even if we didn't even have a full card, just had one match, and you watch the pay-per-view, you go, oh my God, it was what it been. So for me, I was always about giving the benefit of the doubt, and let's see how this thing play out. The Rock has been there. He's done that. And if anybody can read the crowd, it's going to be The Rock. And the right decision was made as far as the way this thing played out. Now we got 2 mega main events for WrestleMania that no one saw coming. No one saw this coming. And now at the end of the day, everybody has a chance to, have that ultimate thrill ride. So let's just sit back and watch it play out.
And of course, that's coming up next weekend. It's hard to believe it's here, man.
It is hard to believe it's here. I felt like last year Los Angeles just happened, and I loved WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania 39 actually could go down as one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time last year. It was fantastic. Both nights, all-star, all killer, no filler. And then WrestleMania 41, of course, with Booker T and The Rock in the main event, is going to go over like Rover. But WrestleMania 40, I'm looking forward to because and Booker and I were talking about this. I don't know if we were talking about this on the radio show or not. I think on the radio show, the 2 nights of WrestleMania, I was very hesitant about. I thought, I don't know how they're going to pull this off. 2 nights in a row of the same show. Like, how are they going to do that? And I think it's the best thing that's ever happened for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because I remember being at WrestleMania 35 in New York, and there was like 14 matches on the show. And by the time the main event came on, the people who took us over on the bus were like, hey, guys, y'all got to come on or we're going to leave you here. You know what I mean? It was like 1:30 in the morning or something crazy.
Yeah,
so I think this was great. It was a great idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a sensational weekend. Of course, Booker T is going to be a massive part of that at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. And of course, Brad Gilmore, you're going to be out there too, doing your thing. So.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be a massive part, but I'm going to be there.
I'm going to be a part of it. It's going to be,
Stand and Deliver's really
your main. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Stand and Deliver. It's going to be kicking off Saturday morning. So guys, make sure you check it out. It's going to be a hell of a match with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. Of course, Tony D taking on Ilya Dragunov is definitely going to be a match that you do not want to miss out and get shut out on. And for me, that's been my pride and joy, just being a part of NXT for the last year and a few months. So looking forward to Stand and Deliver. Can't wait.
All right, and we are going to hear more from Booker T and Brad Gilmore when we return here on the Mark Hoke Show. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Of course, don't forget, we're live streaming here too on YouTube and Facebook, so if you want to get in and make your comments,
we would certainly appreciate that as well. And don't forget, we've got a whole lot more coming up, giving away some tickets to the Vegas Toy Con, your chance to meet Mick Foley. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back on the Mark Hoke Show.
If you live in Clark County, you are at risk of developing non-smoking lung cancer. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that gets into homes and increases one's risk of lung cancer, and it exists here in Clark County. Radon is colorless and odorless, so the only way you know if your radon level is elevated in your home or office is by testing. To get your free test kit, visit our website with a new interactive map to find a pickup location nearest you at www.extension.unr.edu/radon. 21,000 people die of lung cancer each year, and Nevadans are at a higher risk. If an elevated level of radon is found, there are ways to reduce it and lower the risk of getting lung cancer. Get your free test kit today. Visit our website with a new interactive map to find a pickup location nearest you at www.extension.unr.edu/radon. Sponsored by the University of Nevada, Reno Extension's Radon Education Program, and aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free, show your pharmacist your digital card, and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll. Visit ArrayRxCard.com to learn more and sign up today.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're pregnant, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope, and there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And welcome back to the Mark Hoke Show, and happy Easter, everybody. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We are our station's top rated live show, and we are so proud of that. And that's because all of you out there listening, awesome. We greatly appreciate it. So what do you say we get back to it? Want to hear more from the two-time WWE Hall of Famer? That's right, Booker T and Brad Gilmore, who joined us here in the KDAWN studios on Friday for SportsX Radio. Let's hear more from Brad Gilmore and Booker T. Well,
do we have a second? Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? There is a lot of Rushmore talk, and I've thought about this recently. Book, you shouldn't be on the Mount Rushmore. You shouldn't be. You should have the Lincoln Memorial. No, because he's in a realm all by himself. And I think that Booker T, and I mean this, is the greatest wrestling superstar in the history of the business. And I say this for this reason. Think about anything you could think about in this industry. An elite tag team wrestler. Okay, done that. An elite single star. Done that as a technical wrestler, right? Memorable moveset, memorable catchphrases, entertaining on the mic, great as a babyface, better as a heel, but still equally great either way of it. Then you talk into the character standpoint, promos, matches. Then you go, okay, well, he's done being a wrestler. Now he's commentator. He's doing excellent at that, right? Okay, maybe not a commentator anymore. Oh, wait, he's also a trainer. Oh, he's also doing a school. Oh, he's also the SmackDown general manager. Oh, he's also an analyst. He's also going to host all these shows for the WWE, right? I mean, any aspect of this, in reality wrestling, he's a manager and a valet, right? Any aspect of this industry that you could possibly think of, from promoting to wrestling to coaching to babyface, heel, singles, main event guy, opening match, middle of the match. He can give you something entertainment in a hardcore title match, him and Goldust. Anything you can think of in this industry, he's done it and excelled at the highest of levels on it, like nobody has ever done, ever. You can't name another person who's done all the roles that there is to do in wrestling and been elevated and elite at it. So you shouldn't be on the Mount Rushmore. You should have your own monument.
Appreciate it, man.
You really should. The greatest wrestling superstar of all time.
Appreciate it.
And he married up.
And he's got a Hall of Fame family.
And I got a Hall of Fame wife. You got to love that too, man.
His wife's a Hall
my
of Fame.
Queen. My wife.
But seriously, Mark, you're a longtime fan. Can you think of anybody else in the history of the business who's done everything in it and been elite at it?
I'd have to really take time to think about that off the top of my head. I mean, it's a pretty darn short list.
I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin was excellent as a babyface, right? Yeah. Excellent. When he turned heel, people just want to see him as a babyface. And I'm not knocking Steve at all, but I'm just saying probably the greatest babyface maybe in that era of all time. Hogan. But did any of those guys come and give back in a commentary perspective, and in a coaching perspective, run a school, run a promotion, do stuff? Like, no, they just haven't. And maybe they didn't want to. Maybe they didn't think that they'd be good. I don't know what the reason is, but they just haven't done it. Everything that you can think of in the business, he's done it. He's done it. No one else can say that. And he's in the Hall of Fame twice. How many people can say that?
Brad Gilmore just got a raise. Congratulations.
But listen to this. The second person to go into the Hall of Fame twice next to Ric Flair, right? The second person. That's crazy. I mean, that's insane. As soon as Book retires from the ring, they go, we got to put you in the Hall of Fame now. There's no point in delaying it, right? As soon as you retire from the ring. And then let's put you in as a tag team wrestler, too. Your wife deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, think about that.
My brother Hex. Yeah. The whole family. No, it's crazy. I've had a hell of a career. I never imagined or dreamt it, but I always wanted to be the best. I always wanted my name to, ring with, some of the greatest wrestlers. And I talk about, growing up and watching Ric Flair and, Nick Bockwinkel and, JYD and, just certain guys that made me want to be great. And thank God, I achieved this, all of that, seriously.
Well, WrestleMania coming up, obviously, the Rock and Roman and that whole situation is kind of taken on a life of itself. But are you happy with that direction of with the Rock has been swearing on TV? We saw a little color, things are getting back to more of an old school pro wrestling style there too. Should WWE stay with this get back to, you're laughing.
No, I mean, you know what? I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I really do. Wrestling has always had an edge to it. I remember being a kid and watching Houston wrestling, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Mad Saw Buzz Sawyer trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
It was as real as it possibly could be. Those guys was, you knew these guys was going to drink a few beers after the wrestling match. I don't think that affected me as a kid at all growing up.
Yeah.
I really don't. Now, certain things in the wrestling business, do I, believe in? No. But as far as what's going on with The Rock, the swearing, okay, I'm not going to sit here and say maybe, we could tone that back a little bit. Okay. Because if I sit here and say, oh, it's great, people go, come on now. And I get it. I understand, because my kids got to watch the show too. But as far as the edginess of it, the girls, the payoff as far as the matches, I'm all in for it. Bringing that attitude era back, just that feel a little bit. I love it.
And I think to the Rock swearing thing, I mean, and I get what he's saying, like as far as, it's a kid's show, you want to think like it, but I do think that I like it. And the reason I like it is because, I mean, The Rock is really utilizing those Hollywood chops that he has to bring us into the story. You know what I mean? And to me, sometimes you do have to have some colorful language in there to make somebody feel like this is real. Because like I was showing Booker a video earlier of The Rock beating up on Cody after I guess someone told him that, we're all clear. And then The Rock keeps in character, keeps beating up on him. But the things that he's saying are things that somebody actually might be saying if this was really happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Book, if you got into a real fist fight right now, would you make sure that you edited yourself, or would you be like, listen here, right? Because that's a real element of it. Now, do I want that on the show all the time? No. Do I like blood on the show? I actually don't. I've never liked color ever. I don't like it. It doesn't do anything for me. If anything, it makes me want to turn the channel. But I understand what they're doing in this particular aspect, because like, Booker and I was talking about the Rocky movies. If in Rocky 1, Apollo and Rocky go at it and they don't look like they've gone through a fight and they're just still pristine and pretty and there's no sweat, there's no bruises, there's no blood. Well, I don't believe that a fight just happened. I believe that y'all just shot a movie.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Now with what Rock and Cody did, I believe a fight just happened. Something just went down. He's cussing him out. He's bleeding everywhere.
And the thing is, not just that. I think it's just like, say, for instance, we watch the UFC, and a lot of young people watch the UFC as well. But I think the UFC is catered to a more adult audience.
It is.
And I think that's something with professional wrestling had gone away for quite a long time. You can be a grown man and say, man, I got to go home and watch Raw tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until now, it's cool again.
It is cool.
For a grown man to say, man, I got to go see what The Rock doing, because Rock's been so big in Hollywood. Everybody know what they're seeing. They know they're seeing a great act, and I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that you guys talk about the color, and one thing that I guess watching that era back in the day and remembering like Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard.
Oh yeah, man.
And those matches, I always thought that it had a place, but it had to be the right place.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You didn't want to just do it every week.
Yeah.
It's like if Brad and I got into a beef, and eventually
I'd beat the hell out of you.
We would get to that point where you would try to beat the hell out of me and fail miserably, and I would leave you in a bloody pile, right? But it would get to that crescendo.
Yeah.
Right.
There might be one spot where, you might whack me with a wooden chair to establish a point in the feud where, okay, that's it. And then we get to the big match.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
look,
not every time we interact.
There's different schools of thought on it. Like I've heard John Moxley, who's kind of I'd say prolific leader.
That would be an understatement.
But he says like, oh, well, I think about it. If I get into a real fight and somebody's punching me in the face, I'm going to bleed. Like that's his psychology. And you know what? Do I understand that? Yeah. Do I agree with it? No, but that's just that's his take on it. And you know what? I mean, to each his own. And I do think that there is a place for it in wrestling. It's just not something I like.
But I think everybody got to agree that The Rock, the element of The Rock, definitely has turned grown folks on to watching wrestling again.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's really the modus operandi of The Rock presence more than anything, as well as being able to lead by example. These young guys that's watching the show, just like say for instance, watching the Drew McIntyre CM Punk thing. Did it feel more real to you?
Absolutely.
It felt because
felt unscripted.
And I can tell you this: if those guys aren't learning from The Rock, it's something. It really is a problem, in this business. And those guys, a lot of those guys need somebody like The Rock to really be able to show them the blueprint of what they really need to be doing.
And think about it from this way, like the Rock, when he first did his first movie, that was 2001, I think, right? 2001. So there are people out there who are 23 years old who've only known The Rock as an actor.
Exactly.
They've only known him as an actor. How many of those people who are the biggest Dwayne Johnson fans are now tuning in to see The Rock?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it works.
And there you go. We have a whole lot more of that interview up on YouTube. And I'll tell you what, it was just such a great pleasure to have Booker T and Brad Gilmore coming into the studio. And if you haven't checked out Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's school and wrestling promotion down there in Houston, Texas, it is one of the premier facilities in the country. They just moved into a new building down there. Absolutely fantastic. And, the Book's just doing such a terrific job down there. And of course, doing commentary for NXT. They have the Stand and Deliver pay-per-view WrestleMania weekend, which you got to check out. All the stuff's going to be available on Peacock. And we, of course, are getting ready to roll into WrestleMania weekend. And we're going to be talking all about it with our good friend, Reuben Bresler, of course, longtime wrestling fan and longtime co-host of mine on the Mark Hoke Show when we were doing all of our poker stuff. And he's been on the show here before, too. So we're going to be very excited to have Reuben joining us here in a little bit, definitely for the second hour. And Reuben's kind of getting things fired up over there. But check out the full interview as Booker T was talking about more about his career, talking about everything happening with NXT and Ilya Dragunov. And we were discussing about the Intercontinental Championship and so much more. Just had a blast speaking to him for that whole hour on SportsX Radio. And don't forget to check out Ken's show, by the way, on SportsX Radio here on 101.5 FM, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. And once again, don't forget to check us out, or check me out. I'm going to be at the Vegas Toy Show coming up, Vegas Toy Con, excuse me, at the World Trade Center. That is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's going to be amazing. Mick Foley, Sting, Brian Cage. I know my good friend Danny Limelight's going to be there. A bunch of wrestling going on over at the World Trade Center. You can get your tickets at vegastoycon.com. And, of course, a lot of toys. It's going to be great. If you weren't there last year, it was a blast. I got Cobra Clutched by Sergeant Slaughter. And now I'm going to get a chance to be the onstage host with some amazing people up there. It is just going to be an awesome time as the Vegas Toy Con featuring Mick Foley, Sting, and some other, for those of you that are, kind of on the nerdy side, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We wrestling fans have our side too. But Sting, Mick Foley, Amy Jo Johnson, who is known as the Pink Power Ranger, is going to be there. Adam Rodriguez from CSI is going to be on. Mario Lopez, of course, Saved by the Bell, is going to be there. That's going to be great. Dawn Bennett, Tia Ballard, of course, very well-known anime voice actors. Kyle Phillips is going to be there as well, and so many others. A ton of people from the Fast and Furious are going to be around. It is going to be a terrific show, so make sure you go get your tickets. And like I said, later on in the show, we're going to be giving away 1 3-day VIP pass, plus we're also going to be giving another 3-day VIP pass and a photo op with none other than Mama Foley's baby boy, Mick Foley. It's going to be great. So let's take a break. And when we come back, we've got a lot of news from the pro wrestling world and, just breaking it down and get ready for WrestleMania. Can't believe it's here, coming up on Saturday and Sunday. We break down this card. What's going to happen on Saturday with The Rock, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes? Oh, man, I'll tell you what, a sensational cliffhanger that's going to happen on Saturday, leading into Roman and Cody on Sunday. Stick around, everybody. We got more on the Mark Hoke Show. We will be right back.
What's keeping you up at night? For many baby boomers, it's questions about retirement. Tune in Saturday mornings at 10 for Golden Years, a roadmap to navigate retirement with Mark Cordner of Golden Years Financial, right here on 101.5.
1, 2, 3. It's all American time. This is it. This is why we hurt, why we sweat, and why we bleed. So bring it in. We were built for this moment. Y'all hear me? For an all new season. Let's go. Monday on the CW.
You changed this last year, Spencer, for the better. You matured on and off the field.
It's been a minute.
A year is a long time. I'm not the same Olivia. What if things with Spencer feel different?
And times have changed.
You two are your father's legacy. I wish he was here.
Me too.
But the dream,
Spencer, there's a lot riding on you this season. You want a commodity. You're in the big leagues now.
remains the same.
You don't have to be man enough to dig deep down to get that.
Is this your last year at GAU?
Spencer changed.
Spencer? You need to silence the noise. This is your dream. And now it is yours for the taking.
All American. The can't miss season premiere. All new Monday on the CW.
Monday at 8 on the CW Las Vegas.
On average, 26.8 million Americans become infected with the flu every year. There's been a steady increase in the flu-related hospitalizations over the last 6 weeks in Nevada, and we encourage you to get your flu shot now. It's not too late. It's also not too late to get the latest COVID-19 and RSV vaccines. Contact your healthcare provider to learn more or visit immunizenevada.org. This message, sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a pregnancy risk assessment monitoring system survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free. Show your pharmacist your digital card and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll, so you can get back to doing what makes you happy.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Hunt Bono, inviting you to listen to The Dennis Bono Show with great music, fun, and artists appearing in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, every Sunday, 6 p.m. on 101.5 FM.
101.5 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And let's get back to all the wrestling fun. All right. It's best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. I'm just shimmying buttons all over the place trying to get this thing done. And very happy to welcome into the show my favorite fuzzy bear out there. I dig this dude forever. Reuben Bresler on the show. Welcome in, my dear pal. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you this morning?
I am conscious.
I mean, that's better than I can say.
No, well, we hear you. So
well, I'm present. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for having me back on the show. It's good to see you. and excited to chat about the recent goings on in the world of professional wrestling.
Absolutely. And of course, once again, thank Booker T and Brad Gilmore for stopping into the studios. That was really cool to have them hanging out with us down here at the Odyssey building and taking the time out to buzz over here. You know, they come into town for a fight, very busy schedule for them. So them to swing by, very awesome to get a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer to just, I'll come on over. Cool.
Yeah. He's 2-time WWE Hall of Famer. He is technically a 6-time world champion, but he always calls himself the 5-time. So that always confuses me, right? But it sounds better when you say the 5-time world champion.
Yes, I think so too. But and it was interesting. And when the interview and the full interview is up on YouTube, where I had booked for the whole hour, we did pieces of it for the show here today for time limitations. But it was funny when I was speaking to him. And Reuben, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on his place in wrestling history. That he managed to emerge through WCW among all those huge names that were there. I mean, you're talking getting through Hogan, Goldberg, Nash, Hall, Ric Flair, Diamond Dallas Page, and that was another name that really fought his way through too.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett, and so many other people that were in that promotion, and somehow Booker T made it through.
Yeah.
And got to the top, and everybody was not just he got pushed, but he earned the fans' respect to get to that point.
For sure.
And do what he did. I mean, it's absolutely incredible him reaching that pinnacle that he did.
For sure. I mean, not only as a solo wrestler, but also as a member of a tag team, obviously, and a member of a faction, and now on commentary. He's able to just do it all, and he has a very unique spot, not only because he's a world champion who is a black man, which is not the most common thing in WWE, WWF, but also because you just don't get a half dozen world championships just regularly in that era. People held the belts longer. There were fewer belts. It was a different time. And, you also have, in addition to the names you mentioned, those are all names that we hear about constantly, but he's in the Hall of Fame twice. And then you've got people like Lex Luger who aren't in the Hall of Fame. You've got names like Sting who aren't in the Hall of Fame. And so there's so many games you have to play as a professional wrestler of his caliber. He had the talent, he had the stage presence, he had the mic skills, but he also played ball. He knew how to work the system to his advantage. He had it all. He has everything.
Yeah, and the other impressive thing about him too is that he survived the WCW failure to come over to WWE, and how many of those guys actually made it? It wasn't many. It was very few, and he actually was one of those guys that managed to thrive in WWE. Even though I brought up in the interview the Triple H match, but we'll try to pretend that didn't happen. But otherwise,
winners.
Yeah.
Something has to be not the best thing you've ever done.
Yeah. But, just an incredible talent. And then, of course, running his promotion, training people, back doing commentary. I mean, he's done it all. And Brad Gilmore in the interview said, name a guy who's done all that. And, man, you're hard pressed to come up with a name. You really are.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to commentary, you get people who are, good, like Jerry the King Lawler, but when it comes to people who are full-time commentary guys, it's Booker T at the top in terms of in-ring accomplishment. I love Wade Barrett. I think he does a great job on commentary. He didn't have the width or the depth of what Booker had. And then you get to everybody else who is more of a professional commentator, but they've never stepped foot in a ring in a major promotion. So, personally, I'm never stepping foot in a ring. I would rather be the Michael Cole rather than the Pat McAfee or whatever. But yeah, Booker, he's done everything at the highest level, and it's inspiring, really.
Absolutely. So yeah, it was great to have Book on the show. And now the other thing that came out of the interview that I wanted to talk to you about was what The Rock has been doing. And I'm wondering if there is going to be any permanent change to WWE with what he has been bringing to the table. He's dropping some bombs on air. We just saw him bust Cody open on Raw on Monday night. And I'm sure it's catching a lot of people's attention. Now, is this just going to happen because it's The Rock and then it all goes away again? Or, do we see a little more edgier product again from WWE? I mean, AEW has been doing this for years.
Yeah.
And, sometimes they say, well, they go overboard with it. And to a point, I do agree, but is WWE maybe realizing maybe we should be doing more of this? It's a weird line. We talked about it with those guys, but what do you think?
So I love entertainment theory as it pertains to the film industry, as it pertains to writing, and as it pertains to professional wrestling. I think that there are three things that are all happening simultaneously with pro wrestling right now. One is the proliferation of doing promo and doing advertising outside of the show. We've never seen anything like a 20-minute promo on Instagram from The Rock. We've never seen a star like Logan Paul, who's a star in his own right, outside of WWE doing promo, right? We haven't seen stuff like people making the staying in character like it's the kayfabe era quite as much as we have, there are people who've stayed in kayfabe and stayed in character the whole time. Your MJFs, your villains, but it's sort of taken over the industry again. So that's one thing, is we have all of these other avenues that people are cutting promos and advertising the product. The second thing we have is the return of the Attitude Era, not just The Rock coming back, but we already sort of had that with LA Knight. We had that in a lot of the sort of over the topness of Rhea Ripley in particular. I think is definitely a throwback to the Attitude Era, and a lot of that sort of really embracing the antagonist role and that sort of motif of character. And the third thing is, you're right, we're getting dirtier mouths, right? We're saying curse words. And we're going harder in the paint as it pertains to real life relationships, like going after Cody's mom in that one segment, CM Punk going after Drew in their most recent thing. All of this, they're bringing in so much more real life reference material into the product. So all of this has sort of built into a new era. I really think that there is maybe the last year, starting ish with LA Knight's rise to fame, of like Attitude Era 2.0, but Attitude Era of a different kind, of more into the kayfabe, dirtier, grittier. It's sort of like when Chris Nolan took over the Batman series. It went from like a comic book series to a gritty sci-fi thriller, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Is we're a much grittier, much more realistic feeling WWE, even though we sort of lived in a popcorny kind of action movie era for a decade.
Yeah, but it's and to me, it's a little more clever though too.
For sure,
it's it's not like the Vince McMahon stuff
Mhm.
where it was very sophomoric humor. This
Agreed.
this is a higher level of humor and intellectual challenging, as opposed to just hey, I'm gonna dump a bunch of poop on your head, kind of stuff.
And it wasn't just the switch to Triple H, but that did help a lot. I think that Triple H taking over, The Rock being a member of the board of TKO, the sort of leaning into that era that they grew up in, that they were stars in, and trying to bring a little bit of that magic back is really helping a lot too.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that is going to wrap our number one here on the Mark Hoke Show. But guess what? Don't be disappointed. Don't be sad. We have an Easter egg for you. It's a really big one. There's another hour. Isn't that great?
Amazing. My favorite.
And we have presents for you. Isn't that terrific too? Because we've got those passes to go to the Vegas Toy Con, where I'm going to be the on-stage host. It's going to be fun. So hang around, because we've got that VIP package, set of 3-day passes. We got another set of 3-day passes, plus the photo op with Mick Foley. So you might get Mr. Saccoed. Well, you won't get Mr. Saccoed, but maybe you can say hi to it. But stick around. It's going to be awesome. A whole lot more to come on the Mark Hoke Show. Myself, Reuben Bresler. Stick around. We got a whole lot more for hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Hey, it's Jim Costa from Cash the Ticket. Tourney time is here. Mike Valeni and I are going through every matchup of the big dance over on the podcast. We're talking sides, totals, mix in a reckless parlay every now and then. Come on, it's fun. We've got tourney trends, futures plays, who wins the national title, something for every bettor and every sports fan. Region by region, game by game, however you want to digest it, it's there. Download Cash the Ticket today. It's on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Unsafe sleep conditions cause serious injury and even death to infants. Never sleep with your baby on a sofa, in a chair, or in an adult bed. Protect the baby you love from becoming a tragic statistic. The only safe place for your baby to sleep is alone, on its back, in a crib, and in your room. For more information, visit cribsforkids.org. That's cribsforkids.org. This message is sponsored by the Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Clean up yard waste and grass clippings. Wash your car at a car wash or on grass or gravel. Apply pesticides and fertilizers sparingly in your yard. Safely dispose of household chemicals. Clean up leaks and spills. And don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting loveenvywaters.com and following us on social media.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, Nevadans, prescriptions can be expensive. Let the Array RX discount card be your solution. Now available to all Nevada residents. Simply sign up for free, show your pharmacist your digital card, and save money. Receive discounts of up to 80% on certain medications. There are no age or income restrictions, and it only takes a minute to enroll. Visit ArrayRxCard.com to learn more and sign up today.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you shopping for healthcare coverage for a small business? Whether you're renewing a plan or shopping for a new one, the Vegas Chamber Health Plan, backed by Anthem, has many of the advantages usually reserved for a larger organization, like access to care across Nevada at lower cost. Lock in quality healthcare at budget-friendly prices through July 2024. Go to vegaschamber.com/anthem. Brought to you by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K260HCS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDAWN.
Removal begins. I'm Deborah Valentine, Fox News. Crews began removing the first section of steel from the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge yesterday. Officials say they were working on the north side of the bridge. The Port of Baltimore remains blocked as 7 cranes work to remove pieces of the bridge. It collapsed after a cargo ship lost power and rammed into a beam on Tuesday. 6 construction workers were killed, 4 of whom remain missing. Hundreds of Israelis gathering in Tel Aviv last night, urging the government there to do whatever they can for a release of more than 130 hostages still under Hamas captivity. The unrest in Tel Aviv coming as Egyptian media reports Israel and Hamas are set to participate in a new round of ceasefire talks in Cairo later today. Thousands gathering on Long Island Saturday to mourn the loss of a New York City police officer killed in the line of duty. Fox's CB Cotton reports from outside of Jonathan Diller's funeral in Massapequa, New York.
Between inside the church and outside it, there were thousands, officers, troopers, and community members, all who gathered to say their final goodbyes to fallen NYPD officer Jonathan Diller. His widow, Stephanie, says the father looks forward to seeing his infant son reach milestones and his siblings build their lives. She said her husband did not sugarcoat anything, so she wouldn't either, describing his death as devastating and senseless. Fallen Officer Diller was born and raised on Long Island, and the priest who officiated his funeral also officiated his wedding to Stephanie. The widow says she and Jonathan were set up by a mutual friend, and their first date was at the movies.
The Arkansas River Bridge in Oklahoma now open again after a barge hit it yesterday afternoon. State police say nobody was hurt. America's listening to Fox News.
Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Ben Domenech, Fox News contributor and editor of the Transom.com daily newsletter. And I'm inviting you to join a conversation every week with the smartest thinkers out there about the issues Americans face and where we're going as a nation. This show will feature deep dive interviews with newsmakers and some of your favorite Fox News analysts. I hope you'll join me as we dive into the fray. It's the Ben Domenech Podcast.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, that's little old me. How's everybody doing today? Happy Easter to you. Hope you're having a terrific morning with your families, enjoying the holiday, and doing whatever you decide to do. Whether you're at church or out having breakfast or hunting Easter eggs or, just taking a little nap, like Reuben Bresler likes to do.
Always. It's my favorite.
Very happy to have you, Reuben, joining me on the show here. Of course, it's the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show. We are 101.5's top-rated live show, and we appreciate that so much for all of you out there listening as we just keep getting bigger and better. And, of course, want to once again thank Booker T and Brad Gilmore for joining us. Had that interview on in the first hour, and the full interview is up on YouTube at the Mark Hoke Show if you want to check that out. We had a blast with those guys. Just a terrific time having them in studio here on SportsX Radio on Friday night. So make sure you go check that out. Reuben, do you realize how crazy Las Vegas is getting for professional wrestling?
I mean, yes. Vegas is kind of always been a destination, but especially starting in the mid-2010s, it became a convention destination, a sports destination, and now it's definitely becoming, if not the headquarters for professional wrestling, one of the top 3 cities in the United States for it.
This is getting a little ridiculous. Of course, the Vegas Toy Con here every year, but, they bring in, top flight guests from the world of pro wrestling. Of course, we got Mick Foley and Sting coming in here, and they actually do professional wrestling at the show.
Amazing.
So you want to check that out at the World Trade Center coming up here the 5th through the 7th. And once again,
I love Sting. Sting is one of my favorites. I was excited to see how beautiful and lovely his final match was. And Mick Foley is 3 of my favorite professional wrestlers.
Yes.
So there you go.
Maybe you should do a new personality. I'm going to talk to him about that.
Mick? I mean, it might be a little bit late.
He's if he does another match, he's going to be 60 years old. There's got to be a fourth face of Foley. That's what I'm going to ask him at the Toy Con.
Well,
can you do a fourth face of Foley?
We haven't seen a couple of the old faces in a while. So, I would like to have a retirement match for Cactus Jack, a retirement match for Dude Love, and a retirement match for Mick Foley. Those would all be great. But being 60, like I break a sweat peeling an orange. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna, I get tired after I brush my teeth in the morning. So him doing anything at 60 is a feat of nature.
Oh, it just sounds good too, doesn't it? The fourth face of Foley.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
Be his own 4 horsemen.
That t-shirts. He will make a mint on that.
Ooh, those 3 Wolf Moon t-shirts? Those, but with Mick Foley. I think
man.
That's $1 million idea. I like that one. It's at least $100 idea.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to ask him for royalties. Just small ones when he does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be a great time. But then, of course, we've got TNA that's going to be in here. And apparently they are thrilled with this stop. Of course, they had a sellout of the Palms the last time they were here. They're going to be back here April 20th and 21st. They've got the Rebellion pay-per-view coming up that weekend. And they'll be doing the TV tapings on the 21st. Yep. And then AEW made their formal announcement. They are back here for Double or Nothing. They're going to be at the NJM Grand Garden Arena on the 26th of May. So Double or Nothing returns for that pay-per-view. I guess decide not to do the use T-Mobile, but they will be back for another pay-per-view. So, man, it just keeps going and going. And, one thing I'm wondering, Reuben, actually is, the UFC headquarters is just across the street from us.
I was about to mention that, yeah.
And there's a really nice office building. Literally, I could walk over there if I wanted to die because I'd be crossing 215.
Right.
Doesn't kind of make you wonder? Vince isn't in charge anymore.
Yeah.
The McMahons aren't in charge anymore. Would that make sense?
I mean,
to move the HQ out to the entertainment capital of the world, right down the street from you.
I would not move there. So here's the thing especially about WWE, is that most of their superstars are in their 40s, right? Most of their superstars have families. Most of their superstars are, trying to have lives. I think that moving to Vegas for a portion of their offices makes sense. I think that, for like their booking and for their advertising and some of that kind of stuff makes sense. But I mean, what they got going is, they don't need Vegas for their training facility. They don't need Vegas for their employee headquarters, their teacher's lounge. You know what I mean? So while it does make sense for some to move here, maybe because the flights are good, the convention centers are good, there's so many arenas, a lot of that might make sense, but they shouldn't pick up and move the whole business, I don't think, personally.
I don't know. There's another thing that's important. Taxes.
That's true.
Taxes.
So what does their taxes look like? Do we know?
In Connecticut?
In Connecticut? I mean, ESPN's in Connecticut. It can't be too bad.
I'm sure it's pretty miserable.
Well, maybe. But
as opposed to no state income tax here in Nevada.
That's true. You can't beat free. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if they were interested in that, though, they would have moved to Delaware or Texas years ago.
Yeah, just putting it out there. Plus, I'm sure with
It's worth
doing a lot
thinking
of
about.
just doing a lot of stuff with Hollywood, and Dwayne's involved now.
It's true.
Quick trip.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
It's
Just
not it's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, just the thought. Maybe they should think about it. I bet they are thinking about it.
I bet they've thought about it. Connecticut is a weird location. Trying to get into Bristol Airport or trying to get in there from, one of the New York airports isn't the easiest thing in the world, having done those trips a ton. But there's got to be benefits we're not thinking of. But you're right. The business has changed. Maybe they want to get rid of some of the old ghosts, move headquarters and turn over a new leaf. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, with the TKO group, I mean, like I said, UFC's right over here.
Yeah, that's right.
Put it right next door.
And it's not like they
Or
haven't
close by,
plucked,
anyway.
It's not like they haven't plucked talent from the UFC in the past, or the UFC hasn't pulled in folks for their own MMA stuff. They're putting something in the Sphere soon, apparently, which seems like a weird place to put a UFC fight. But there's a ton of crossover, and you don't need the headquarters there to have that crossover. You just see each other at various events across the year. So
yeah, it's
a
just
good thought.
Yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there just for fun, because it's just speculation, but with everything happening in Vegas now, and everybody just seems to be having a lot of success out here. It's maybe. Well, something that's not a maybe is WrestleMania. It's time, Reuben. It's time. We can actually start making predictions on this thing, because we don't have a show until Sunday, which means we actually do have to start talking about this thing a little bit.
That's true.
And we don't even know, other than a couple of matches, what night's what. So I guess we got to run down the card, buddy.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Your next show is after WrestleMania.
Well, it's in the middle of it, actually.
It's in the middle of WrestleMania.
It's in the middle.
Right.
So you and I get to talk a little bit about what's happened. And then we get to speculate about the hell that's going to be night 2.
Right, exactly. I think that there are some things that I'm pretty confident in are going to happen, but I'm excited to hear your thoughts too.
Well, let's take a look at this card, and now we know for sure. And let me pull this up here. Okay, of course, we know on night 1 we've got the Bloodline versus Cody and Seth.
Yes. And that's going to be the headliner. That's the main event of night 1.
So how do you see this going down? Because I just had Jeremy Lambert on talking about all the chaos he thinks could happen, and we've had everybody in the wrestling media just coming up with all sorts of crazy thoughts about what's going to take place in this match. I'll let you start.
Okay.
Who wins, and what other things are going to surround this match? Because there's a lot of variables, because obviously Seth Rollins is in here. Could Seth possibly get cashed in on that night? What do you think?
Yeah. So, man, it's so hard to predict, because for the last couple of years, we've thought that something would change, and nothing has changed, really. It's been Roman fights somebody and gets bailed out. This is slightly different because it's a tag match, and we have the Roman solo match, not Solo Sikoa, the Roman by himself until someone else shows up match the following night. So in my opinion, whoever wins night 1 loses night 2. That's how I think this is going to go down. I think that they give, if Seth and Cody win night 1, that means Roman wins night 2. If Roman and company win night 1, Roman and Rock win night 1, then I think Cody wins night 2. I think that they're going to split them like that. I can't imagine that Seth plus Cody wins and then Cody wins again. I don't think that they'll give them that. I think it's more likely that Roman just wins everything forever, because they still want the streak. They still want the number of days. Like I said the last time I was on the show, I think that WWE values the number. They value how many days that Roman has held the reign for. And so once they get past Hulk or up to near Bruno Sammartino's number, then they're going to think about letting Roman take a vacation. But because it's 40, because it's such a big event, because we've been building this finish the storyline for so long, and it's only grown, and and it's the first one where Triple H really has control. They've been leaning into The Rock's heel nature. They have a real opportunity here that they didn't have with LA Knight, that they didn't have with Sammy Mania, to capitalize on the groundswell of support. So my hope is that Cody and Seth lose night one. That's my hope. My hope is that Cody and Seth lose night one. Maybe even the Money in the Bank gets cashed in and Damian Priest gets his championship over Seth. And then night two, we get what we all want, what we all came here for, which is the Cody Crybabies coming out with what they signed up for a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and I'm leaning that way too. I would love to see that cash-in happen as well, because you hear The Rock screaming not just about Cody, but he's been saying, "I'm making sure you're losing that title too, Seth."
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that this is just this first night is just going to be a total night of devastation for Cody and Seth. Yeah. I really do. I think Roman and Rock are going to win this. They're going to win this big. It's going to be a hell of a match, but they're going to end up in the end that Cody is just going to be laid out. Your last scene is going to be that bloody belt going to Cody's mom, and Seth is going to be on the ground, and Damian Priest comes out and cashes in, and Seth is no longer the world champion. I think it's going to be a complete nightmare for those two.
No pun intended. I hope so. I think that that's the way the story has to go. You have to end, episode 5 with all is lost, and then you bring it all back and we defeat the dark side in the next chapter. You have to have those low lows so that you can tell this cool story. That's a good way to finish a story. That's an exciting, enthralling, interesting storyline.
Yeah. And the neat thing is, if you didn't have a night 2, you'd never be able to pull this off. But so this is going to be interesting as we get through night, and we'll get to the end of this story as we go through here.
And the other thing I hope happens. The other thing I hope happens is, because everyone has seen every Roman Reigns match at this point. Roman gets in trouble, a half dozen people come out and bail him out. I hope the same happens for Cody on the next night. I hope that Roman's cavalry arrives and then Cody's cavalry arrives, right? Like all of his support structure comes out. His brother comes out. Would be great, right?
Yeah, I know.
Whoever, like everyone who's ever feuded with Roman comes out and supports Cody in this adventure, because that's the Avengers moment of coming together.
Yeah, I agree. And and I have been saying this for a while now. It would be so cool if they were able to work something out with Tony Khan.
Yeah.
To let Dustin,
I think,
come out, and because he's going to be there. He's doing an event in Philadelphia that weekend, and it would be just fantastic if he was able to be allowed to interject himself in this match, considering all the talk of family and everything else.
Exactly. If there's one thing I know about Tony Khan, it's that he's a wrestling fan. And I think he would understand, this is advertising for my company too, right? Like that's a rising tide that raises all boats. So I think that it only makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, actually, this is probably a good spot to take a break. And when we come back, we will look at the rest of the WrestleMania card and a whole lot of other things going on. And you know what? I was actually supposed to do this. We're going to give away that pack right now. Call 702-257-5396 and you can win that Mick Foley pack. We're going to take caller number 3, 702-257-5396, and you can win that 3-day pass plus the Mick Foley pack. Give us a call.
My son stopped talking to me. He didn't want to leave his room.
I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
I was really worried about my daughter. She was angry all the time.
I felt so depressed.
I was really worried about my daughter.
I couldn't do anything right. I was always getting yelled at.
My son told me he wanted to hurt himself. I was so scared. I was feeling hopeless. It was all too much.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help. We needed help.
I needed help.
I called the mobile crisis response team, and we met with them that same day.
A crisis team came to my house and helped me talk to my parents about how I was feeling.
I called the mobile crisis response team. They met with us that day. I talked to them about how I was feeling, and it really helped.
Sometimes understanding what children are experiencing can be difficult. The Nevada Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team provides mental health intervention and support. Learn more at nocrisis.com.
This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Citizens Academy Alumni Association, a nonprofit organization separate and apart from the FBI in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association.
Join the Vegas Chamber today. Being a member of the Vegas Chamber sends a powerful message of credibility and that your business is connected to a larger community of organizations dedicated to ensuring Nevada is a great place to live, work, and do business. Joining the Vegas Chamber and becoming part of the largest business organization in Nevada has never been easier. Grow your business within your budget. Visit vegaschamber.com and join today. Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The FBI is engaged in a nationwide effort to build public awareness of hate crimes and encourage reporting to law enforcement. Hate crimes include crimes committed on the basis of the victim's perceived or actual race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. Hate crimes are not only an attack on the victim, they are meant to threaten and intimidate an entire community. If you believe you are a victim or a witness of a hate crime, we encourage you to report it to the FBI by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. You may remain anonymous. Again, report suspected hate crimes by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. The FBI works to protect all victims of crimes, regardless of their country of national origin or immigration status. The FBI encourages victims and witnesses of any hate-related incident to report it to law enforcement. This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Division, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's not too late to protect yourself and your family from the flu. According to the latest report from the CDC, Clark County has witnessed over 244 influenza-related hospitalizations and 9 flu-related deaths. Meanwhile, Washoe County is seeing an average of 30 new cases reported per day. Be safe. Get your flu shot today. Contact your healthcare provider to learn more or visit immunizenevada.org. This message sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Hey, let's get back to it. The best pro wrestling news and entertainment on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN on 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. And I've got my riding partner, Reuben Bresler.
What's up?
Hanging out with me today. Good to have you along for the duration of the show. Thank you so much, Reuben.
Of course, we make a good tag team.
We certainly do. I don't have to be the Ricky Morton, though, do I?
No.
Okay,
You're
good.
fine.
Good.
I mean, you know, I let's see, who are my favorite tag teams of all time? If I can be Xavier Woods, I'll let you be Kofi or Big E. I don't need a world championship. I don't need that smoke. I'm good.
I just don't want to be the Ricky Morton. Of course, Ricky Morton was the better looking one, but he was the one that always got beat up. Robert Gibson had to come in and do the cleanup work.
I mean, I'm happy to be the better looking one.
Wow. Okay.
Listen, you said it. You said it, not me.
All right. Whatever. It's all good. All right. Well, continuing to take a look at the WrestleMania card coming up. Starting on Saturday. I can't believe it's already here, WrestleMania 40. And just, we won't take too long, but just taking a look at some of the matches that we've got coming up here. Well, now we have Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Sure.
Is that going to be the match? Or do we have Damian Priest involved in this? I mean,
yeah, that's a good question. So that's on night 1.
It's scheduled for night 2.
Right. Because night 1 is Cody Seth. So Seth, Drew, Maybe that's when it gets cashed in.
Maybe it
That would
could.
be rough. That would be rough if it got cashed in on night 1. Damian gets the Money in the Bank, and then that fight is not anything. That would be weird.
It could be a triple threat. You never know. You can do what you want.
It would be real awkward for Seth to lose night 1, the tag team, and then lose night 2. Man, that'd be weird. But might just be a rough WrestleMania for Seth.
It could. You never know. But let's just say there's no cash in. Let's just say there's no cash in.
Sure, no cash in.
Is Drew walking out with the championship?
Probably not. I don't feel like that one's changing hands. I feel like that one is pretty. I think one of the 2 championships changes hands. One of the 2 big championships changes hands. And my bet is on Cody winning, which means I think Seth retains.
So I have a feeling there's going to be some. Well, CM Punk has said he's going to be on commentary.
Great.
I have a feeling that he is going to be messing with Drew McIntyre in this match. So
sure,
that should be a lot of fun. Bayley and Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. As Io Sky comes in the champion, Bayley is no longer bad Bayley. She's the lovable Bayley again. I wonder if the Bayley buddies will be back out. That'd be kind of fun to see them.
I mean, I love Io Sky or Io Sky. I think that she doesn't get enough credit, but also Bayley has been doing so much work for the company, like taking way more losses than she has any right to be taking. I think she probably gets this one.
I think so too. I think Bayley walks out as the champ. The Rhea Ripley Becky Lynch match, and this is going to be this is a show stealer. I don't think there's any question about it.
Yeah,
Rhea comes in as the women's world champion, and she has been absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
Everybody loves her, but does she walk out with the championship against Becky Lynch?
Yeah. So you're not going to find a bigger Rhea Ripley fan than me. This reign of hers has been atrocious. I don't like how they've booked her. I don't like how the story has gone. I think she's got to leave Judgment Day. I'm just bored with her reign.
Wow.
So, it's unfortunate because I am heart eyes Rhea Ripley and have been since she was in NXT in way long ago. She's an all-star. And I like Becky Lynch. She's fine. I don't think that she's as the greatest thing ever. I'd rather Rhea win, but I also want Rhea's story to change. So I think Becky probably should walk out of this as the champion, just so that we can get some sort of change in story associated with Rhea Ripley.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think Rhea walks out as the champ.
I mean, listen, this one's a win-win for me. I think that either she wins or she learns, and she's so young that she's the future of the company anyway. So, whatever happens, I'm happy.
Yeah, toss up on that one. Gunther and Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. This is a fascinating matchup. Do they end Gunther's streak, or does Gunther continue to dominate the Intercontinental Championship scene?
I would like it if Sami won. I love Gunther. I think he's such a good worker. The story that they've put behind Gunther is really good. He's actually got one of the more interesting storylines. He's improved so much on the mic during his reign. I would really like for Sami to win this match, but I think Gunther retains.
The only reason that I think you'd take it off of Gunther is if you're going to send him after one of the world championships.
Sure. Oh, that's a good call. So yeah, if they want to send Gunther after Cody, for example, if Cody ends up taking it, if they want to send him after whoever walks out with the heavyweight, Drew or Seth or Damian, if they want to send him in that direction, for sure, you got to drop it at WrestleMania. That's a good call. I like that.
Did I say they were going to do it? I don't know. It was funny. I was sitting here when we were talking with Booker T. I had suggested that the guy that would be the one to take it off him is Dragunov, because if you remember, they had those great matches.
Hell yeah,
a few years ago that were just unreal.
Well, that's like Jay taking it off of Roman.
Yeah,
so that's a good story. I like that one.
Yeah, it's boy, I'm calling time limit draw.
I don't know about that.
No,
That seems like something they wouldn't do at WrestleMania. But
I'm not going to wuss out. You know what? Gosh, I hate all the good guys winning.
no, I think Gunther walks out. I think Gunther leaves with the title on that one.
I think so too. I think after the disappointment of Chad Gable not winning, I say Gunther wins.
Yeah.
The 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Okay. This is gonna be really fun. It's the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest defending their titles against DIY, the Awesome Truth, the New Day, A-Town Down Under, New Catch Republic. Did I get everybody? Yeah, I did. Is this the night that R-Truth gets his WrestleMania moment? Can he find his way up the ladder? Does he remember the rules?
Yep.
And
does he know what kind
Truth
of match he's in? Yeah. I think that the Judgment Day storyline is getting a little stale. And if you're ever going to lose a titles, it's in a 6-team tag ladder match. They've stapled so many stipulations onto this. I think that Awesome Truth getting the win is the more fun story. I think that it's the more interesting story, and I would like to see it happen. So I'm going to vote for that.
Now, we had an interesting discussion with Jeremy Lambert that R-Truth not knowing the rules of the match could actually end up in splitting the tag team titles. And I loved that.
I love that
finish.
idea.
I love that finish that R-Truth gets to the top and only takes one set of the belts.
That's very smart. I love that. Oh, that's brilliant. For sure. That is absolutely 100% what should happen. Is R-Truth takes one set of titles, leaves, and
leaves.
Someone else goes to the top and grabs the rest. I love that idea.
Could you imagine that finish happening? I think it would be perfect.
So smart. I love that.
We'll see if it happens, but
yeah,
we got to get Truth, somehow in the match and up the ladder, and Lord knows. But I do think that in one way or another, Awesome Truth will win at least one set of the tag titles.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, I think it would be an interesting way to split them up. I've heard they've been thinking about doing it, so that'd be a clever way to pull it off. So we'll see what happens. But let's just say they split it. Let's say, just for fun, let's say they split it. Who's the other team that wins?
It'd be nice to give DIY something. I love New Day. Like I said, I don't think New Day is leaving with titles. I don't think if they split the titles, they're going to let Judgment Day retain half the titles.
I'll give you my team.
Who's that?
I say it's A-Town Down Under.
Okay. I mean, I'd be fine with that too. That'd be nice. I mean, they haven't gotten a ton of play, so for them to get a WrestleMania victory would be kind of wild.
Yeah, I think that'd be all right. LA Knight and AJ Styles, and this one, boy, you feel bad because these two guys, AJ Styles after he got hurt in Hershey, Pennsylvania, came back looking jacked, and LA Knight was on a roll, and he just seems to have gotten swept under the rug a little bit. And this one you would thought would have been at the top of the card, and it's just kind of a match.
Yeah, they screwed the pooch on LA Knight. But it's going to be a great match. They're both such good workers. Like, there's no way this isn't a great match. This one will have the highest rating of whatever those ratings are, just because they're so good. Probably LA Knight. Like, you can't just get rid of all of the hype that LA Knight has. They kind of already have, but they should give it to LA Knight, I think.
Yeah, I think LA Knight walks out with this one for sure. We've got the Usos, Jay and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Duking it out. Which Uso is the Usiest?
Which night is this on?
Don't know. They haven't said yet. None of these matches have been announced what night they're on.
Great. Wonderful news. I'm going to guess that they give this one to Jimmy. Because I think, and I'm going to guess I put it on night one and that they give it to Jimmy. And that the bloodline is just like on top of the world after night one.
Interesting. All right.
That's my guess.
Boy, I hadn't really thought of that, but which night it's on is going to be a factor in this. Yeah, I still say I say Jay's going to win.
Yeah.
I'll give this one to Jay.
I think that they want the interference on night 2 from everybody. Like the whole cavalcade's going to come out. It's going to be the cartoon all-stars coming out, and everyone's going to roll out, and that includes Jimmy, right?
Right.
So Jimmy can't have just gotten beat up 30 minutes earlier. So I'm guessing this is night 1, and if everything goes according to what my plan in my head is, that means the bloodline reigns supreme on night 1.
All right. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens for the U.S. Championship. And who would have thought the U.S. title was going to have such an important match? But this is going to be something.
Yeah.
The conniving Logan Paul and the two biggest snakes maybe in the history of WWE in there duking it out for the U.S. title. This is going to be a fascinating match with some incredible psychology to it.
Yep.
I can't wait for this one. I really can't.
Interesting. This is probably, I hate triple threat matches, by the way. I think they're atrocious. I think they're so stupid. But this is a really interesting triple threat match because of what you just said, because of the psychology. You've got the youngest male superstar in WWE, certainly the youngest title holder, against two of the biggest psychological killers in the game, in the history of the game, including Randy Orton, who is the cerebral assassin, right? I think Randy probably walks out of this one. I think they give Randy his flowers in this one, and he leaves as champion. He's not looked great in his most recent couple matches. He's not looked wonderful, but giving him a triple threat match, letting the other guys do some work, and Kevin Owens, I love Kevin Owens. He's such a good worker. They can let Logan and Kevin have a duke out while Randy catches his breath, and then Randy will sneak in and steal the title.
I have a feeling that Randy and Kevin are going to do something to accidentally screw each other over, and Logan's going to win this match.
Sure.
That's my feelings. I think Logan walks out with the championship. This is a very intriguing matchup. It seems like it was thrown in there, but it gets Jade Cargill involved in WrestleMania. And by the way, the opening, if you didn't see that, guys, wow.
She's like,
what a
not
production.
Human. It's unbelievable. Jade Cargill is superhuman.
No, and she has got such an incredible future. And, and I think a good way to put her into this in a six woman match. I mean, very smart by WWE to give her a good introduction with five other incredible women in this match. It's going to be Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi against Damage Control with Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I don't think there's any question who's going to win this match. It's just a matter of who's taking the fall, who's going to be getting the fall on this. And
who do you think's winning?
Oh, I don't think there's any question Bianca, Jade, and Naomi are winning this match.
Okay.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
You think they're going to take the title from Io Sky and from Damage Control?
Well, it's a six man. It's a 6-man, so the tag titles aren't going to be on the line.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Probably Naomi. I would think that they give it to Naomi.
Do you think Naomi's going to get the pin on this?
Yeah, that would be my guess.
See, I think Jade's going to.
I think it's too early for Jade. I think that they want to introduce Jade. I don't think they obviously she can't get pinned.
I'm saying she's going to be the one to get the winning pinfall.
Right. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's too soon. I think it's too soon.
I don't know.
I think they give it to Naomi.
That would be nice.
It would be nice
because she is getting overshadowed. But but so a great showcase, and boy, I'll tell you, I wonder what Bianca and Jade are working on doing to somebody. That's
my dream is for Rhea versus Jade. I think that's the match that I want to see.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Bianca and Jade down the road.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take Jade a little longer to be ready for that. But boy, I'll tell you, will that be something else, to say the least. And then we also got the Latino World Order Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee get Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
Hell yeah.
So we get the Mysterios again.
I love that.
Oh, man. After this, I was pretty close to seeing the spanking last year. Had
Sure.
a great angle on it. So the Mysterios are going to be facing off one more time. That's just going to be a lot of fun to see Rey and Dominic duke it out one more time at WrestleMania.
Yep. I think
I
they
don't
let Rey
care who
win this
wins,
one.
but it's
I
going to be
think
fun.
I once again want to see. I love the Judgment Day. Big fan of the whole Judgment Day storyline. It's time for that storyline to go away. I think that everyone in the Judgment Day loses, and they let Rey win at WrestleMania 40. I think that's the way that this goes.
See, I think Dominic gets a win this year.
Maybe
I
they
think
haven't given him a
Escobar-
ton of wins, so it would be nice to see him get like a big win someday. But here at WrestleMania 40 with Rey Mysterio, I don't know.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I think it's time for Dirty Dom to walk out with a woo.
Sure.
So that's the way I'm going.
I think it also fits the story of like the only winner from the Judgment Day is Dom, that's kind of hilarious too. Like that's kind of a cool story as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay with either side.
Yeah. And then we have the final match, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to save that for the other side of the break.
Okay.
We'll save that for the other side. But we are going to give away one more set of the VIP passes. We got a set of three VIP 3-day passes to the Vegas Toy Con available for you. That number, we'll do caller number 3 again. That number is 702-257-5396. 702-257-5396. 3-day passes to the Vegas Toy Con, so you get to come out and hang out with everybody, have a great time. Of course, like I said, Mick Foley, Sting, and so many others are going to be there. So once again, in just a sec, we'll open up phone lines and you can win your set of tickets for all 3 days of the Vegas Toy Con. 702-257-5396. We'll be back with our final segment, myself and Reuben Bresler here on the Mark Hoke Show here on 101.5 FM KDAWN. We will be right back.
Listen to the Texas Corners Bible Church every Saturday night at 7 p.m. and Sunday night at 10 p.m. on 101.5 FM.
Ready for your next vacation? Not so fast. Before you hit the road, remember these healthy habits to keep yourself and others safe and sanitary. Wash your hands after using the restroom, before eating and after blowing your nose. Sanitize airplane seats and tray tables. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or your elbow. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Lastly, make sure you're up to date on all your routine vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccine. It's also important to get tested when necessary, such as if you develop COVID-19 symptoms before, during, or after travel. If you will be traveling to visit someone who is at a higher risk of getting very sick from COVID-19, or if you're in a situation with a greater risk of exposure during travel. Pack these tips on your next adventure. And remember, travel safely, Nevadans. This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you live in Clark County, you are at risk of developing non-smoking lung cancer. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that gets into homes and increases one's risk of lung cancer, and it exists here in Clark County. Radon is colorless and odorless, so the only way you know if your radon level is elevated in your home or office is by testing. To get your free test kit, visit our website with a new interactive map to find a pickup location nearest you at www.extension.unr.edu/radon. 21,000 people die of lung cancer each year, and Nevadans are at a higher risk. If an elevated level of radon is found, there are ways to reduce it and lower the risk of getting lung cancer. Get your free test kit today. Visit our website with a new interactive map to find a pickup location nearest you at www.extension.unr.edu/radon. Sponsored by the University of Nevada, Reno Extension's Radon Education Program, and aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
On average, 26.8 million Americans become infected with the flu every year. There's been a steady increase in the flu-related hospitalizations over the last 6 weeks in Nevada, and we encourage you to get your flu shot now. It's not too late. It's also not too late to get the latest COVID-19 and RSV vaccines. Contact your healthcare provider to learn more or visit immunizenevada.org. This message, sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Silver State Schools Credit Union is a nonprofit member-owned financial institution named Best Credit Union for 6 straight years. Any Nevada resident can become a member and have a financial partner for life. Learn more at one of our 10 local branches or silverstatecu.com.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And let's get back to it one more time. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on The Mark Hoke Show. And yeah, by the way, got to announce our winners, Reuben.
Okay, good.
I'm very excited. So we want to congratulate our 3-day pass winner. That is Brandon Butler in Las Vegas. Congratulations. So Brandon is getting to go to the Vegas Toy Con. So he'll be hanging out. And we want to announce a winner for our VIP package who's going to get to meet Mick Foley. And that man is Chad Holloway.
Hey.
So, Chad, congratulations. You're going to get to meet Mick Foley and get to go to the Vegas Toy Con. So, congratulations.
Amazing.
So, congratulations to Chad Holloway, who's going to get to hang out with the 3 faces of Foley. And no offense to Chad, I do know the gentleman, and I hope he gets a mandible claw very, very deep down the throat.
Yeah.
So,
that's a little bit of our kayfabe there. Yeah.
All right. So congratulations to everybody and have a great time at the Vegas Toy Con. Should be a blast. All right. Last match. Main event. Cody Roman.
Yeah.
I think, Reuben, you have already said that we're expecting bloodline rules.
Yeah.
And I agreed with you.
I don't know, man. Like
Jeremy, by the way, Jeremy Lambert said he wants chaos. He wants Roman to win.
Okay, sure. I think that there's so much that goes into this decision, and the last thing you consider is the actual story. There's a business aspect, right? There is the record, which I think is honestly huge. I think that the reason why they wanted Roman to carry this title for so long is so that Roman's name can be at the top of the consecutive days list in the modern era. And that means outlasting Hulk's number. And he's not there yet. That would be next year or this winter, I think. So if they want his name higher on the list, Roman has to retain. I don't care, because they also instituted that obviously before Triple H took over. So do they care about that business aspect? Do they care about that record anymore as much as they did before? Personally, if I had a nickel for every time Roman defended his title, was gonna lose, and then got bailed out by members of the bloodline, I'd have a pocket full of nickels. I can only see that match so many times. I think that WrestleMania 40 is the biggest possible stage. You can't just tell that story again. You have to do something different. So if Roman retains, I can't imagine him retaining clean. I can't imagine that it's no one else comes out and his shoulders are on the mat for 3 seconds. It's so hard because you want to tell the best possible story, and I think that Roman retaining has the possibility of having a good story associated with it, but you have to end it in a unique and interesting way. You have to do something different than you've done before. You have such a big stage. This is not WrestleMania 32.5. This is not some little number. 40 is a big number. And you have to tell the story in a different way. This is also Triple H's first time really getting to flex his storytelling and his leadership. You've got The Rock. This is probably the last time you're going to get The Rock on a stage this big. You got to do something different. And if that isn't Cody winning, you're going to need a different writer than me. I think it has to be Cody winning if you want to tell the best story.
I think so too. And I think the end result on this is The Rock turning on Roman and Cody wins the championship.
Can I tell you what I'd like for the most chaos?
Sure. Absolutely. Go for it.
Cody wins. Damian Priest's music hits.
Oh, you would do that?
100%.
Oh,
absolutely.
It's a possibility.
100% I would do that. I would want Cody to win, finish the story. 3 seconds later, you get the whiplash of Damian coming out.
Oh my God.
That would be incredible. That would be such a whiplash and such a like out of left field thing to happen. And also that fight's going to be a war. So it makes sense that that's possibly the one you want to cash in on from Damian's point of view. And that sets Damian up to be such a good heel. That sets him up to be an incredible powerhouse in going forward. So I think that would be a good way to end it as well. I can't imagine a scenario in which Roman wins and it's an interesting finish. From my own experience having watched, I think that they're from an overarching, like if I'm looking at a bigger picture of we need Roman to retain the title for a long time, it makes sense for Roman to retain. But in the moment of WrestleMania 40, I don't know what the finish is that makes it interesting if Roman wins.
I think you'd get away with that if there wasn't one other factor that you're not thinking about. It's in Philadelphia. Dear God, he'd never get out of the building.
That's true.
That you would have such a negative reaction in Philly. They're building up
That's a good point.
There is going to be a Rocky-esque video package.
But that's Paul's house, man.
You're
coming to Philly. You're talking to Paul Heyman's house. That's no one likes us, we don't care territory.
Could you imagine if Heyman ended up switching? Imagine if Heyman stabbed him in the back. Heyman loves Dusty.
It's true.
Oh, I just thought of that one too.
Good.
Oh, could you imagine if Heyman brought Rock in to stab Roman in the back?
That would be pretty interesting.
Oh, that would be fun.
That's pretty good. I like that. I like that finish too. I think that's a good story. I also wanted to bring up one other thing before we head out of here.
Sure.
I think that there's a possibility of 3 stars from AEW making an appearance at WrestleMania, and I want your yes or no on if you think they will be on camera.
We got about 40 seconds ish.
I'll go quick. Dusty, yes or no?
Dustin, yes.
Dustin, sorry. Yeah. Dustin, yes. Mercedes Moné.
No.
Last one. MJF.
No.
Oh man, I want MJF so bad though.
No.
Oh, I want to see him.
No
my
way.
boy. My boy with the Burberry scarf.
No.
Oh,
not a chance.
I love MJF so much though.
Well, yeah, he loves me too.
Yeah.
You know I have a thing with him.
Oh, I mean, listen. anytime that I get to talk about Michael Jacob Friedman, he's my Michael Jacob Friedman. Sorry,
Maxwell.
Whatever.
Trust
All
me,
of those
I
names.
know that name. Well,
Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He's a nice Jewish boy like me. So
I know. Oh yeah, he's a nice boy. All right.
That's right.
Yeah. Go back and look on my YouTube channel. See how nice he is to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's gonna do it, guys. Got a great WrestleMania preview in. When we're back next week, night one's gonna be over, and then we're gonna really have our brains racking
We'll see how it goes.
We'll be getting ready for night two. Thank you so much for all of you listening to the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks to Reuben Bresler for coming on, and we'll see him next week. And we, of course, want to thank Booker T and Brad Gilmore as well. Terrific show today. Don't forget, Vegas Toy Con this weekend. I'll see you guys Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over there. Should be an awesome time. Get your tickets, VegasToyCon.com, and come out, say hi, and meet Mick Foley and Sting. It's going to be terrific. Guys, follow us on Twitter or X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Subscribe to us on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show. We'll see you next time on the Mark Show. Have a very happy Easter. Catch you later, Las Vegas. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. And visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Baseball is back. Basketball